recently my putting has deserted me, but rather than go and spend £500 on a new putter, yes they are that much money at the moment, I've decided to come and show you guys how I'm going to turn it round, and I've just got my old faithful back out, the old swag putter. So there's no real technology in this, and I quite like that in a putter. I feel like if I'm going to put well, I want to do so with having put in hard work. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to do to try and rescue it, and one of which is to try and get a true roll back on the golf ball. So the one thing which I need when I'm practicing like this, and there's two drills I'm going to show you in today's video, hopefully it might help you, because there's nothing worse than mid-season losing something from your game. I would recommend you go and get a lesson, you go and see your coach who you've worked with in the past, but it's not always easy, and sometimes they're too busy as well. So I'd usually go and see Chris, but he's busy doing absolutely nothing. So we're out here today at Waterfront, and the one thing that I've got is I've got some golf balls that do offer feedback on them. So I've got the TaylorMade Pix balls, and I'm a huge fan of these. I have enjoyed the stripe balls as well, but I do like these for practice. So you can see I've got an alignment aid on them, and the first thing I want to do is work on the stroke and work on lessons I've had in the past. So in the past I know that I've generally got a little bit too short in the backswing and too long in the through swing. So that means I start pushing the golf ball, and realistically when it comes to putting you need three key skills so you can putt well, you can hold putts, you can get your scores going. You need to be able to read the green, you need to know the speed of the green, and you also need the start direction of the putt. You do those three things correctly, you're generally going to be there or thereabouts. You're not going to be three putting much, and you should hole a couple of putts from this distance around 10 feet. So I would think here, and I use an aim point read for myself, I'm an aim point instructor, that's a couple of degrees of slope, so that's a 2. So if I just aim outside this hole here, you can see that what I'm trying to do is find a structure, go through a routine, and I always think that if you are putting badly, your routine is probably the first thing that's gone out of the window, isn't it, Bobby?
It is.
It is. So then I'm going to line up and just make sure I'm about where I think. So to me now, if I was out on the golf course, that's the routine I would have gone through, and I feel like if I put a good stroke on this, the ball should give me an even roll. The greens here are spectacular. What I'm going to say for the time of year, but it's July, so they're just very, very good. Jonesy, well done. So if we put a decent stroke on this now, I should be able to put a good roll on it, and that should just move a little bit. So that's moved further than what I thought. The stroke wasn't that good. The feedback wasn't perfect on there, so I've pulled that a little bit, and to be honest, it's gone more than anticipated. So I know that my read was probably off, so I would recalibrate that in the practice, and then I'd again come in and try and get my stroke a little bit better. So when my stroke does that, I feel like it comes a little bit too much on the outside, so I'm going to feel like, and again, this all stems from the lessons I've had in the past with Chris, with other putting coaches. Get the posture right, allow that putter to work inside a little bit, and from there, feel like that putter just releases nicely. I'm not driving it through, I'm not having the handle forward and lots of shaft lean dynamically. I'm keeping the 3 degrees of loft on that putter, ball position's nice and consistent, and that's a much better roll and a much better putt. And you'll see there that the first putt I hit was terrible, to be honest, but that's why I'm here. I'm not anticipating to stand here and have 4 balls and roll them all in time after time and then go into the bar like where Chris is. We can probably zoom in and see Chris in there actually. But if you're going to come and practice and you know that you need to work on something, don't be afraid to fail. This is the place to fail. This is the place to miss. And we have another drill in a second, once I've just got a little bit of confidence instilled in that stroke and in that roll. So you can see that we're starting to improve that already just with a couple of strokes. And it's amazing how you might not want to try that out on the golf course. You might not want to be titivating your game in July because you might have a club championship around the corner.
You might.
Will you play it?
If I can, yeah, I don't know when it is.
Yeah, you're probably working, Bobby, aren't you? But so we've got a couple of really, really nice putts there, and we'll just keep those going and rolling. And again, it's that routine that you feel like you're just doing really well with. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. That for me is such a simple way of improving your confidence. Other people might need to work on something else. For me, I need to work on the quality of roll and that start line. If I do that correctly, generally I'm okay. But if you're 3-putting a lot, then it might be distance control that you struggle with. So we're going to now implement this drill into another drill and help you get good at golf, or get good at putting, which is like golf in golf, isn't it? So to take this to the next level, we're going to work at distance control, and you need 2 things. well, a putter and another golf club, and then a handful of golf balls. I have 4 golf balls here, and I'm going to set the club up a club's distance behind the flag. So I've got a 6 iron. Obviously if you use a wedge then it becomes more difficult, but this is your miss zone. This is the area where you'd probably give yourself the putt anyway. I'll take the flag out because I do like having the flag out, and we're going to work backwards. So I'm going to go one big step, probably go to the side because these size 11s will ruin it. We've tried to find a flat putt here as well, and you can see we're going back in about 3 foot increments. So we now have a line of putts, and you may have seen this drill on my channel before. I absolutely love this drill, but again I'm going to go through the structure of the routine as well. So I'm going to go first putt first, so the nearest putt first, and we'll go through it. We'll go through how we'd read it, so might just give that a little aim point read. Again, we've tried to go as flat a putt as we can, just so you're thinking more about distance control. So if this goes in, fantastic, I'll give myself 2 points. If I leave it short, it's minus a point. If we get in the safe zone here, then that is a point. If we hit the club, it's minus a point. So with 2 points for make it, 1 point for safe zone, minus a point for short or too long. Again, because I'm lining this up, I can start to go through my routine. We used all of the hole there, Bobby, didn't we? But it still went in, exactly. So let's go through this again. This is where I've skipped my routine there. I've not even gone for the read. And that's where you can't beat spending time practicing. Spending time practicing is the ultimate of how you are going to improve. That one's just outside right. Again, we're thinking more about pace, but the feedback of making it would be lovely. All day. All day. And because I've done the first bit, so the first part of the video was to get that roll. That's the important factor for me. All I'm thinking now is stroke length and then feedback on the golf ball. So when it gets further out, you might give it 2. It's right edge, isn't it? I mean, we know it, but for the sake of the routine, we will continue. Can we get 4 points on the board? Which would be delightful. Using my dominant eye on the right hand side of the shaft for the alignment, handle forward, stroke length. That's short. Stroke length wasn't long enough, to be fair. I was talking about stroke length as I was stroking the putter. Really good read, really good roll, just didn't have the distance. That's really annoying because that's blocking the other one out as well. We will move that. But you can see, guys, how this will potentially help my game and your game. That's minus a point, so we're on just the 1. You don't want to have like a level score here. If I leave this short or race it past, then we've got a level score line, and that's no good for me for this drill. I'm annoyed because it was such a good roll, and that's the most depressing thing in golf. That's a better one. Sit. And that does leave us in the positive. That's 1 point. Guys, getting that, oh, we've got 2, 4, 1. We've got 4 points there actually. But guys, if you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button below. If you want to get good at golf, then make sure you share this with all your friends. Apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Chris is in there, look, having a beer.